here we are, this is who we are.
Hey everyone, welcome to our channel. Nathan, more heart. I'm excited. Miguel, who's one of our...
Oh, I was going to guess.
Oh,
but yeah, of course it's Miguel.
Yeah. Miguel, of course it's Miguel. He actually took a break. He took a little bit of a break from giving us heart songs. He gave us some other ones recently. But as always, Miguel gives us a great song request via our Patreon system. And for some reason, Nathan, he's been getting double billed. He has 2 accounts on our Patreon. So Miguel, I mean... So he's given us 2 requests a month now, but I kind of feel bad. Like, Miguel, cancel one of your accounts. Like he has 2 accounts being billed, and he's given us 2 songs a month, which is fine. But fine. You can, Miguel, you're allowed to cancel one of them if you want. You don't have to have both running. Anyways, okay. This is funny because he sent me. It was last month. He goes, "Oh, I got billed twice." I'm like, "Okay," and he gave us 2 songs, but he's doing it again this month. Miguel, cancel one of your accounts. By all means. Anyways, okay. He goes, here we go. Hola, Ryan and Nathan. Here's my request for December.
Hola.
Heart, White, Lightning, and Wine. This is a 1977 live performance, Nathan. Okay, this is a little bit of history, but this is really good, and I appreciate Miguel telling us this. Of course, every Heart fan knows this, but this is for me and Nathan. Although Ann and Nancy Wilson are the core members of Heart, they are not the founding members. Did you know that, Nathan?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. The men of Heart rarely got the recognition they deserve. Heart was formed in 1967.
What?
Yeah, by lead guitarist Roger Fisher and bassist Steve Fossen. Mike.
Okay, that's news to me.
Yeah, so I'm going to butcher this name. I apologize. Mike DeRozier later joined as their drummer. For 3 years, these guys played clubs, high school proms, street fairs, wedding receptions, and county fairs. When their lead vocalist, which I don't have the name of here, I'm sorry, but when their lead vocalist at the time left 3 years later, they auditioned and hired Ann in 1970. So 3 years after they formed Heart, Ann came in. Now, you can say their success probably started with Ann, let's be honest, but I get it. Their success slowly grew through the Pacific Northwest, which I knew. I knew they got big up in our neck of the woods back in the 70s. So in 1974, Nathan, 4 years after Ann joined, Roger, who's the lead guitarist, brought in Howard Leese to play keyboards and electric guitars. And Ann then brought in Nancy to play acoustic and electric guitars as well, I guess in 74. So now we've got sister Nancy has come in. Together, Roger, Steve, Mike, Ann, Howard, and Nancy formed Heart. So that's when kind of Heart became Heart. Okay. So now, when the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame contacted Ann and Nancy about their induction, they were told Roger, Steve, Mike, and Howard would also be inducted. Now, I don't know what the reasons are here, so maybe people can tell us in the comments, because Ann and Nancy stated they would not perform on stage with the men.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
So there's some bad blood there.
Something happened. Yeah, something happened.
Yeah.
So Miguel didn't tell us what it was. So let us know in the comments, because hey, look, we're all humans. Something might have happened. Who knows? Yeah, let us know.
No.
The Hall of Fame responded, quote, "If you don't, you will not be inducted. Heart is and always will be the 6 of you." That's what they said. All right. So this led to a very odd and uncomfortable Hall of Fame performance, which I would like to see now, Miguel.
Oh, yeah.
Hint, 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 nudge, nudge. So now we're back to 1977. So Nathan, Ann has been in the band for 3 years. Ann has been in the band for 7 years. Nancy's been in the band for 3 years. So this is the core group here. So we're kind of seeing them in their prime. This is 1977. The video quality isn't great, but this is prime video. Roger and Howard performed a guitar solo. Roger, the brunette, also wrote the memorable electric riff for Crazy on You, Magic Man, and Barracuda, which we know. So interesting. So yeah, so that guy was a big part of their sound in the early days. But here we go, Nathan. That's a fascinating background. Thanks, Miguel, for writing that out.
Yeah, that is. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's good to know this stuff because, we're a bit. It's not that we don't know Heart. We just. Yeah.
That history? No, we didn't know that history.
Yeah. It's good.
But now I really want to see that awkward Hall of Fame performance.
Oh, yeah. That would be great.
Okay.
Guys, ready for a little drinking song yet? From our first album, something loose and hot, you know, that kind. It's called White Lightning and Wine. did I feel? I've got to know what I feel. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I can't seem to remember. Oh, what did I feel? I don't know what I feel. It's Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Oh, thank you, Hart. Okay. Well, all right. It's a couple of background here before I get going. So they were on tour here in 1977. This was their third studio album that came out in 77 called Little Queen. They'd released 2 albums in 1 year. This is back in the day when bands used to do that kind of stuff.
Oh,
so, yeah. So they released an album called Magazine in 1977. Then they released Little Queen in 1977. Also, the albums were a little bit shorter then as well. I mean, not shorter, but I don't know. It just seemed like bands back in the day, the 60s and 70s, they were just really like releasing another album. Well, they're young, hungry. They got all these songs they've been working on. I kind of get it. You know, it's like a dump, you know?
Yeah.
Like a dump. Sorry, that sounded terrible.
No, like a song like,
yeah.
You have there's a creativity explosion in the 60s, 70s. So that makes sense.
A couple things. So, ages. I thought you might be interested in their ages. So Anne is 27 during that show, and Nancy was 23. Just young. Young. And
Anne looks great.
She looks fantastic.
Yeah.
Like I'm just gonna fawn a little bit here. I know it's not about looks. I look, but look, I don't care. Whatever. She looks gorgeous, and it's unfortunate that she had health issues and weight issues. I'm not trying to say. I'm just saying like. Mm-hmm. You could see them being on stage together. These 2 gorgeous sisters rock and rolling on stage. They look amazing. And then Nancy's only 23 there. This is their 3rd studio album, and they're on tour. Yeah. And then, so just to keep in mind, Nathan, their first album that came out in 75, Nancy and Ann were on that album. So every album they've had studio has been the band, has been the sisters. So they formed before the sisters joined, yes. But I think I'm not wrong by saying that every studio album has featured Ann and Nancy.
Yeah,
and
okay.
it's a huge draw, I admit. And they had an uphill battle back in the day. We've said this before with other female artists that had heart. Let's say it was 27-year-old Anne and 23-year-old Nancy, and the way they looked then, and today's, outfits and modern hairstyles, whatever, like performing these same songs today, they would be heralded.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of simps out there would be like, because it's funny, the term simps didn't exist back then. It's hard to explain. I don't know if it's an internet cultural change, but there's other female bands that we enjoy that we've noticed some of their crowd fan base is really much older. Like they're older gentlemen, much older than the girls in the band, and like they were like under 18, and there was like 40, 50-year-old. Like it's weird to me, Nathan. I don't know if that's weird to you, but
we've talked about this. Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying this because Heart back in the day, they I'm sure there was people, but I would suspect their fan base ages were close to their age as well.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting at. I would suspect there's 20-year-olds, 13-year-olds, maybe 30-year-olds. I don't know how many 60-year-olds were watching 27-year-old at that time.
Yeah.
Now we're older. The fans are older now, but I think the fans, like Miguel, grew up with them type thing. So what I'm getting at is these sisters had a harder, in a weird way, to get the male audience because they were female.
To fight harder. Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas today, ironically, I don't know if it's better or worse, but I think they would have a lot of older fans today. That's weird. Anyways,
let's put it in context. You and I, when we were growing up, did not listen to Heart.
That's what I mean, because they were girls.
Yep. And that's partly what we're getting at here is with time and certainly the ability to look back and see their talent, we're being sort of reintroduced to Heart. I knew of a few Heart songs, and I didn't know what to think of them because I was just, trying to, when I was a teenager, still trying to like establish what I liked. And it always felt kind of like, oh, if I say that I like Heart, it's almost like, does that mean I'm more girly if I like Heart?
Well, keep in mind, Nathan, here's the problem. They had a sound change, and that's part of the problem. So when they had that sound change in the 80s, when you and I were listening to metal, hard rock, AC/DC, Aerosmith, Molly Crew, Megan, when we're listening to those bands as teenage boys, let's be fair to ourselves, we were teenage boys listening to hard rock, like metal.
Yeah.
They were singing these dreams.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So we didn't know this early. We knew the big hits. They're great songs. They're great pop songs, and they're great ballads. Don't get me wrong. I think I appreciate them more now. But back then, we wouldn't have been like, "Hey, Nathan, did you check out Alone by Heart?" So
yeah. So I suspect that Anyway, that we would have. That makes sense to me. Why we didn't explore anything related to Heart back then. But I still feel like I don't know. Like had we known that they had that sound, we would have in my head I went immediately to Aerosmith. Like there's a bit of an Aerosmith edge to that.
The 70s rock. I love that 70s rock sound.
Yeah, like it really is you can hear all this like, oh, there's like excitement about trying these sounds, right? There's a newness to it. Whereas it's so much more polished today. And so I like that sound too. I think it's fantastic. So thanks, Miguel. That was really good.
Yeah, no, well, yeah, before we had to say about incredible performance. This is, I wish or hope that I wonder if there's like an actual concert DVD of like I could tell it's a VHS recording of whatever that was from, because you saw the VHS lines through the tape or whatever. But that's a cool piece of hit. I don't think we've seen the live performance with them that young. And this is it breaks my heart that bands can't stick around, and I get it. It's tough. The human relation is tough. Like even you and I, who've been friends for 30 years, we've butted heads and stuff. And if you're on the road together, try to collaborate, right? People just have different opinions. They're like, I can't work with you anymore. I can't collaborate with you. Yeah. We're just not seeing the same thing. We started off as a band, but we're just two different directions, and it just sucks because you see these guys playing with heart. It's just such a cool mixture of talent of guitar playing, drums, bass, all these guys playing together. It just sucks because there was a time when they were on that stage in that moment. They're like, this is rock and roll, man. They're having, and then 10 years later, I'm out of here. It just sucks. Yeah. But that right there was a great snapshot of peak heart, I think is what I'm getting at. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
All right.
Well, thank you, everyone. And if you're a Heart fan and you want to join us in our thousands that join us
Yes,
in our
thousands.
Patreon, then join our Patreon and be part of the Welpton when we do these, because I guarantee we're going to have more Heart at least once a month.
Yeah. Thanks, Miguel.
In the coming months. So thanks, Miguel, for that. And thank you, everybody. We'll see you in the next one.